It is exhilarating from our vantage point to see the evolution of your desires. For we understand that the desire that is born from you is the leading edge of thought. So you said, from your non-physical vantage point, I want to go forth into this leading edge environment where the contrast is so amazing that it will inspire me to new personal preference. That is so big. And as that personal preference is born within you, that important vantage point, you radiate an energy about it. In other words, your desire that sometimes you speak in words is much more fully known by the vibration that emanates from you. And when that vibration of desire or preference, no matter how big or small, no matter what the topic, emanates from you, Source comes forth in response to it. And as Source comes forth in response to it, you have the potential of a full manifestation. Of course, you must be a vibrational match to that which you're asking for. And that is really what this gathering is about. It is about putting some emphasis upon your awareness of your vibrational content so that you can deliberately massage, you might say, your own energy content into vibrational compliance or alignment with your own desire. Humans don't understand that for the most part. Most humans are working very hard to mold themselves into compliance with something far different from that. Sometimes it's rules that the government has offered. Sometimes it's rules that the family has offered. Sometimes it's agreements that your society offers in an attempt to have some order of business. But most humans, you of course are the exceptions, are not really all that aware of their vibrational content. They do not understand that when they offer a desire, it is vibrationally offered, and that the way to know what the content of your vibration is by paying attention to your emotional guidance system. It's a wonderful thing when you realize that you can feel the power of your pull of desire. In other words, when you ask, it is always given every single time. The question is, are you letting in what you're asking for? You can tell how much you're asking or how focused the energy is around a subject by how powerful the emotion feels. If you feel strong emotion, whether it is positive or negative, it means this desire really, really matters. And if the emotion that you feel is positive, like enthusiasm or passion, then you are in the state of allowing that which you are asking for. If the desire feels more painful to you, then that is an indicator that you have more often practiced the vibration that does not match the desire than the vibration that does match the desire. And it is important for you to be aware of the way you feel in order to think and feel, think and feel, think and feel, think and feel, think and feel. In fact, we would say to you that thinking and feeling and thinking and feeling and thinking and feeling is the process by which you deliberately mold the vibrational content of your being into compliance with your own desire. You came forth filled with desires. Your desires are more general in nature than many of you think. The desire that you were born with is more like, I want to have a joyous experience and I want to be of value. But it is not offered from your non-physical vantage point as a wishful, hopeful thing. It is more offered from a absolute expectation thing. Watch the little ones, they still remember. They come forth with confidence and determination to do it their way. You don't always like that as adults. And you spend a good deal of your parenting skills trying to teach them not to do it their way. But the source of them is determined to do it their way. And as soon as they can get loose of the parental grip, they will do it their way. And they often will learn very talented manipulative skills where they will deceptively do what you want them to do, at least when you are watching. But the source that is within them will always reign supreme. And what is at the core of every one of you is the absolute knowledge that you are powerful creators, that you are God force embodied in these physical bodies. And you have come forth into this leading edge creative environment in order to find joy and satisfaction in the creative process. You did not come forth to fix something that is broken, because nothing is broken. You did not come forth to make the world a better place, because you already understand that the world is what those who are about it have created it to be. In other words, you did not come forth from your non-physical vantage point saying, I will go forth and straighten them out. I will help them see the errors of their ways. Instead, you said, this is a big place. This is an environment where everybody can create whatever they are wanting. You understood this is an environment where law of attraction is the manager of all things. And you knew that the creating of your experience was about you deliberately choosing a vibrational stance or attitude or mood or personality, and that from that vantage point you would draw unto you things that match that. You never said, I'll go forth and I'll look around into the environment and I'll fixate on things that are wrong and I'll fix them, because you knew from that vantage point that anything you fixate on will become a vibrational part of your point of attraction. So when you look at things not wanted and you shout, no, 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 we've got to get rid of that, the longer you look at it and the harder you shout and the more effort you give to it, the more you achieve vibrational alignment with this thing you do not want. And in this law of attraction-based universe where it is all about inclusion, never exclusion, you get the very thing that you are giving your attention to. So it turns out that when you say yes to something, you are including it in your vibration. It is a part of your point of attraction. But when you look at something and shout no at it, you get that too, because it becomes a vibrational part of your point of attraction. And so it turns out that what deliberate creating is really about is looking at things on purpose. But here is the big important part of it. Looking at things on purpose with the deliberate intent of feeling good as you look. Because if you're looking at things that don't feel good and you're making a habit out of looking at it, even though your motives may be very valiant, very virtuous, very righteous, you cannot give attention to things not wanted without eventually living those unwanted things. It is law. Law of attraction says that it must be that way. You are a magnificent creative genius, you know. You have not just begun this creative endeavor in this body. You are old hands at it. You have been at it from the beginning of time, and even before that which man calls time. And you understand from that broader non-physical vantage point that this is a creative workshop in which you get to create whatever you are inspired to create from the vantage point of contrast in which you live. So as you are mixing it up here with others, and you are seeing things that do not please you, in the same moment of knowing what you do not want is born desire about what you do want. And our work is to assist you in readily turning your attention toward the new desire that has been born out of the contrast. Now we know that humans have been clamoring forever, it seems, about this subject of contrast. We hear it again and again from so many of you. You say, but Abraham, why does the stuff we do not want to live have to exist? Why couldn't we just come forth into the perfect environment? If non-physical is pure positive energy, then why is there so much here on planet Earth that we do not want to participate in? Why could it not have been a purer, more pleasant place when we got here? And we say, if you do not know what you don't want, you don't know what you do want. But there is a more important reason than that. This is not being given to you as some sort of a test or an assignment to see how well you do. This environment is an environment where free will reigns, which means you get to think about whatever you want to think about. No one restrains you. Nobody can stop you from your thoughts. And your thoughts are all powerful because your thoughts make up the vibrational content of your point of attraction. And whatever the content of your point of attraction is what is gravitating to you with a gravitational pull that no one and nothing else can determine. In other words, nothing can set off your gravitational pull. When you are fixated on something and you've activated in your vibration, it's on its way to you. And what you must do as deliberate creators is be aware by the way you feel of what's coming. And reach for thoughts that feel good so that what comes always feels good. So many humans look out into the environment and they see things wanted and things not wanted, and they sort of develop the attitude that I will find a way of getting me to that and that to me, because I really don't like being here in the absence of it. But they don't seem to understand that as long as they keep talking about the absence of it, as long as they keep beating the drum of where they are, they keep acting the vibration of where they are, and anything that's not in the vibrational drum beating of their personality or mood can't get in, no matter how much they say they want it. You got to practice the beating of the drum of the things that you want. In other words, you got to get happy, and you got to beat the drum about things that you want in order to establish a consistent enough vibration within yourself that you become that point of attraction. As you see things that you do not want, and you talk about them, and you join clubs about them, and you write articles about them, and you join organizations about them, you become a vibrational match to the very thing you do not want. And then everywhere you go, it shows itself to you until you become even more convinced that the world is all about this big black hole that you don't want. And we say, oh, this is such an amazing world. As we peer into this world through your eyes, it is not one world, but it is as many worlds as there are perceivers of it. And as you begin to perceive your world in the way that feels good to you while you perceive it, it is our absolute promise to you. And we have source energy backing us up on this, and all the laws of the universe, that anything that you want can come easily, swiftly, joyfully, consistently, steadily, eternally into your experience. But you just got to beat the drum of what you do want. We are eager to talk with you about anything that is important to you. We will not encourage you to beat the drum of what's going wrong very long. But we do know that that contrast does help sharpen your focus about what you do want. In other words, we would never say that the contrast is a bad thing, and we would never say to you that your negative emotion is a bad thing and should be avoided, any more than we would say to you that the sensors in your fingers that tell you that the stove is hot should be numbed with Novocaine. In other words, we think it's wonderful when you are aware that you are touching something that will eventually be damaging to your experience, and that's what the glorious negative emotion is. It's your guidance to let you know that the content of your vibration right now is not serving you as well as you would like it to. It isn't someone saying to you, bad girl or boy. It isn't someone saying to you, if you keep this up, you will be punished because it is wrong for you to hold this thought. It's just the natural laws of the universe saying to you, you are not in vibrational compliance with your desire. Do you hear that? That's not source energy saying, you're not in compliance with my desire. This is not God saying, I have this list of things that you must do, and if you don't do them, I'll zap you with the pain that we call negative emotion. If you keep it up, I'll give you cancer. There's nothing like that. It is that when you are in vibrational misalignment with the energy that you have summoned, it does not serve you any more than if you plug in your toaster and then stick a fork in the line. In other words, when you add resistance to current, it shows up in ways that are sometimes startling. So we say to you, which do you choose? That which feels good or that which feels bad? That which feels good, but of course, everyone knows that. Which do you choose? That which is true or that which is false? Of course, truth is always better than false. We learned it when we were in kindergarten or even before. But when we ask you the big question, the most important question that anyone will ever ask you, what do you choose? That which feels good or that which is true? You've got conflicts in many cases, because even though you've learned from us, you've heard the tapes, you know Abraham's answers, always choose that which feels good, many times you fixate on the truth of something as if that means anything. The truth of it is, here I stand. You say, this happened, these are the facts, these are the details, and here I stand, mired in this truth. And we say, so what? So what? Now is so temporary, it's really not worth all of the attention that you give it. It's only the platform from which you launch into that which is coming. So if you're standing in the truth of unemployment, or the truth of a broken heart, or the truth of cancer, or some dreaded disease, stand there and say, oh good, now I know what I don't want, I clearly know what I do want. And I am right now the powerful emanator of powerful, focused, always answered desires that's going to the boundaries of the universe, never have I been more focused, and never have I been more powerful, and never have I been more summoning.